Welcome, I'm Coach Woodbray, and this is My House Throws.
Welcome, my house throwers. This is Coach Woodbray, and this video is about how to hold and release the shot put. Holding the shot put properly and having a good, powerful, strong finish through your release is going to make a huge difference on how well you throw. You're going to want to rest the shot put on the fingers in the last part of the palm, like showed in these pictures. Now you'll notice as the shot put sits in the palm, there's going to be a little gap between the shot put and the main part of the palm. This will allow you to be able to throw without having a lot of resistance. The second thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that the fingers are close together. Having the fingers close together is going to allow you to have more of the surface area on your fingers and allow for a greater push of the shot put. Now here's a couple of examples of some professionals of them holding the shot put. With these next two athletes, you'll notice how their hand placement are different than the first three that I showed to you. Their fingers are spread apart, and so they're not going to be able to utilize the full strength and power that they've generated throughout their throw. So we want to make sure we keep those fingers closer together to get more surface area. The next thing is the thumb. You are not holding a shot put to where if you just put it out in front of you, you can hold it in your hand, it would fall. Your thumb's purpose is to be a steadier. You'll notice that these thumbs with these athletes, they're not in front of it. They're not going to stop or resist. They're pushing the shot put out into the sector. You'll want to keep that thumb as a steadier. Now notice with each of these athletes, they've each decided to place the shot put where it is most comfortable. Now, this may be different for someone who spins versus they glide. This is more of a personal preference of where you'd like it. It can be behind the ear, it can be in front, it can be down by the jawline, it can be high, it can be low. But you just need to find a spot and work with it of where you get the least amount of resistance, so it's the easiest throw that you can possibly make. The next thing is that in order to keep that shot put from falling out of your hand, it's not by having your thumb in front of it and cupping it and holding it. It's by applying pressure between your neck and the shot put. Your elbow is going to want to be raised to a 90-degree angle. As you start doing that, it's going to push that shot put so that it will not fall out of its placement that you've put on your neck there. The next thing we need to learn is how a good release of the shot put looks. Now I'm going to use Joe Kovacs as an example with this because he does really well at this. He was a silver medalist in the previous Olympics. For a great release, there's a few things. First, keep it next to your neck, which means you need to make sure that you drive that shot put through your face. And otherwise, you need to look away. You'll see that Joe, where he's looking, is away from the throw. He's not going to watch it land. That arm never dips down. He keeps it to a 90-degree angle, and he keeps his chest nice and square to the sector as he comes out of his power position. And so he's going to get a nice, good throw. Here's another angle of that. You'll see his elbow never dropped as he follows through with his release. We'll talk about the blocking side or the left side for Joe here in a different video. The next thing that you're going to want to make sure you do, here's in the Olympics, one of his throws, is he drives all the way through the shot put. Notice his arm extends completely through, and he starts pushing his thumb down, if you notice with there, and it's a little flick. So he finishes his throw. We want to make sure that your arm is fully extended and that thumb's down. In shot put, thumbs down is a good thing. And so remember, thumbs down. A shot putter will release the shot put at a 38 to 45 degree angle, depending on if you're a rotational or a glide thrower. Now evaluate how you're throwing it, how you're holding it, how you're releasing it, to see if you're getting the optimal amount of strength behind each of your your attempts. Now let's talk a little bit about drills. There's a couple drills that we can do to practice holding it or releasing it so you become more effective. Each drill has a purpose behind it. The first drill is called a pop throw. A pop throw's purpose is not to use the full body for the throw. It is to work on the release and the flick. Are you pushing it up? So you'll notice that in this first video there is no movement in the lower body. You are trying to just extend that arm, keep the elbow up at a 90-degree angle, and push it all the way through and then flick at the end. The next drill I call is a power pop. You're allowed to get your lower body into it. You're going to slightly lean to your power side. You're going to use some force or some explosion up, doing the same thing as a pop, and now you get a little bit more of your leg into it. Once again, the same things in the pop-up. You're going to want to make sure that you fully extend, you push that shot put all the way through, and you flick. Ground pound is another drill that you can practice. Make sure you practice in a place where you don't mind making some divots in the ground, or you can make a spot where it has harder ground and you don't have to worry about making divots, and such as in a place where there's a bunch of gravel or sand. You're going to do this drill by having your body, as it is throwing into the ground, you're going to want to make sure that it is parallel to the ground or close to being parallel to the ground as you drive all the way through that shot put. You'll notice you're going to keep your thumb down, you're going to still flick, you're going to look away like we talked previously. Now, some of these drills, the pop-up drill, it can also be done on the ground to ensure that you do not use your legs. Here's an example in this video of doing the pop-up drill. By remembering how to hold and how to release, it really will make a difference on how well it flies and the distance that you're able to get because of the proper technique. Evaluate how you're holding it, evaluate how you're releasing it, film yourself and compare it to the video or the pictures that I showed to you. We want to be perfect throwers, and to be a perfect thrower you have to be purposeful in perfecting your practice. So continue to work on those things, and remember, my house.